beautiful souls. Thank you so much for coming back and visiting again. It's lovely to see you here. How are you doing? Are you doing good? I'm doing good. It's a good day. It's a good day. Today I'm going to be looking at another Bored Panda post, and this one is... It's something we've had conversations on a few times, and that is about serving dishes. Now, in recent times, people have started exploring different avenues for how they present food. I'm quite simple. I like my food to be presented on a plate with a knife, fork, spoon, chopsticks, or a bowl. I like a bowl. A bowl's nice. But yes, I'm not really the greatest fan of having it served on the back of a shaved cat that's tap dancing towards the table. So let's have a look at some things that have been used to present gorgeous looking food. I don't deny that for 1 minute. But let's have a look and see what they've been presenting the food on. Now, the first couple I have had a look at already, and I thought I would save the rest of them and not look at them until I actually did this recording. I'm glad you're joining me and having a little look-see at these. So, our first delight is being served up on a rather substantial knife. I would question the sense in arming your clients, but I think it's been blunted. It looks like it has. It looks like a really nice meal, don't get me wrong. But you better hope that the service in this restaurant is particularly outstanding and you don't charge horrible prices and you can trust your clientele. Otherwise than that, I would question why on earth would anybody consider serving food up on a knife as a good idea? Now, don't get me wrong. Okay, this next one, I understand the aesthetic. It's a crumble with some sort of fruit ball thing, and it's meant to look like, you know, the crumble's the sand and the ball's something. But I don't understand how anybody would want to have their pudding served up to them on a flip-flop. It doesn't conjure, you know, images of like eating on the beach or a summery Sunday sort of pudding. I don't want to eat out of somebody's shoe. It's going to have that weird foaminess to it. I don't like it. Okay, so this is why I decided to stop and make this a blind react from the next picture onwards. Because it's like somebody's basically cut a cabbage in half, stuck it in a bit of wood, put a couple of slices of quite nice looking bread by the side of it, and served it as an appetizer. If I was served up with that, I'd be like, well, if that's what my starter looks like, I dread to think what they're gonna serve my main meal on. Is that decoration? I'm supposed to eat the cabbage? I don't understand. And here's now this is very popular, like serving up your food on a bit of wood. At least this one's nice. It's a nice cut of wood, and you can see they've done that smeary thing with the sauces and the condiments, and that's absolutely awesome. I don't know what guava gorse is. That looks quite nice, and the food looks amazing. All of this food looks fantastic, but. Okay, am I the only person that needs to cut their burger in half? Is that bit like kind of goofy of me? Is that daft? It's a bit of wood. I know it's sterile and hygienic. It's a bit of wood. You might as well just serve it on the table. It's the same wood as the table. I'm not disappointed. What the... So my whole thing about this one was like, oh, I'll stop at 3. I'm not going to look at any more, and I'll do just a... Would you? Seriously, if somebody came up to you with this, it would put me off eating it. It's like, I love the creativity. Don't get me wrong. I can see it's very clean. Completely understand and accept that. That's fine. But I just don't like the idea. Oh my goodness, I had to compose myself there for a minute. Okay, so this one is returning to the hunter-gatherer roots. I'm sure there's a lamb chop in there somewhere, although I'm not altogether sure where. Rummaging through the undergrowth, maybe? The next... This is very topical. but very disturbing. The picture kind of speaks for itself on this one. Yeah, moving on. Well, with all of it so far, this one, you just might as well, hadn't you? You just might as well just hold your hand out. All right, go on then. You know, just make sure you wash your hands first, obviously. But serving your dinner on your hand. Why is a plate so hard? Why is a simple plate and cutlery so hard? I swear most of this stuff is not meant to be eaten or consumed in any way, shape or form. Can you imagine trying to have a drink out of a square box? Like, if you had a straw, yes, then it'd be okay. If you have to use a straw, and that's a whole other conversation we'll not get into right now. But it's a cocktail in a box. Why? Yeah. I'm sorry. If you brought my food to me in a rusty bucket, the chipped enamel plateware, I don't mind. No problem with that. But really, a rusty bucket. Now, we've seen all these galvanised buckets for french fries and chips and crisps and all that sort of stuff. And I know it's supposed to be quirky and kind of like rustic and... I can't even tell you about the glass. I'm not looking at the glass. I'm looking at the glass. I'm not looking at the glass, but I'm looking at the glass. I can't look at the glass, but I can't. It's stressing me out now. No exaggeration. I had to take a little sip of a delightful cup of tea to carry on with this. Look, if you're just going to chuck a ton of food on a table, which I'm sure it's been sterilised and so on, but it's the same as people sharing your plate, which I know is lovely and sociable and all that sort of thing, but why? I know I've said that a lot, because it just bewilders me, it befuddles my mind, it just, oh my goodness me, I think I'm getting too old for all this. Again, please excuse the pun, but I think I've bitten off more than I can chew with this particular task. This is funny. I love that they've used a phone box as a bento box. Oh, that's adorable. I love that one. I like that one. That's funny. If you haven't yet, give that subscribe button a little bit of a boop. I'd really appreciate it. If you like what you see, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you think about the content, especially when I'm bringing you such things as pasta in an upside down glass that looks like worms in soil. I'm really sorry. I do apologise. I love this post. I really do. It's from boredpanda.com, another site that I absolutely adore. But it looks like worms, and I don't want to eat worms. No, it's just wrong. I can't. I swear this has been sent to torture me. Okay, so I get this one. This is actually Return to the Past with like the newspaper, your fish and chips, but a rusty bin lid. It's like, if they sealed it over the top with some level of varnish or something like that, then it would be okay. But you know when something rusts, little bits and particles come off and you're going to be eating that. I don't even know what I would be eating here. What is it? It's piles of goo and goop and... Oh, there's an orange slice. I can identify an orange slice. And again, is this just pure laziness or what? Okay, now it's getting to the levels of ridiculous. It's like, it's got all the retro vintage sort of like tableware, but then it's got the urine pot from when you're in hospital. And is it supposed to be a theme of being in a hospital? Is it supposed to be a theme of like kind of assisted housing sort of stuff? Which I question why. What's the theme? I need to know the theme. I need to know where these places are. Fascinated by these choices. Fascinated by them now. Now, I absolutely love the Ferris wheel of profiteroles. I even love the little baskets on the branches. But under what logic is your glass served upside down? And how often do they have to clean these tables? I really feel for the waiting staff. I really do. And then the people go in there and you go, yeah, I'm going to go and eat this really trendy restaurant. It's really on point. It's got some... I didn't bring my pelican bib. I might need one. Oh my god, I think I've gone into a different reality. It's like, can you put the dinner on my bill? Or literally, I couldn't. I just couldn't. What you do? Oh, thank a deity for a good cup of tea, because it's the only thing that's getting me through these posts now. We've returned to the hunter-gatherer theme with this one. At least the pudding or the starter's on a stick. Oh, someone please tell me where these places are. The caption for this one read, "A friend ordered tiramisu in Scotland, why sugar the lid?" I mean, I get it's a whole sort of like snow theme and they've served it with a bit of paper, so if you take the lid off, it doesn't matter if it spills over, it'll spill onto the paper, and it's all pretty and snowflakey, but it's kind of like, yeah, like, unless you're going to use that extra bit in your tiramisu. Do you put sugar in a tiramisu? I don't know, I've never had it. I honestly have never had tiramisu. What's it like? What's it served on? Is that a piece of bark? I mean, the last opposite's like having a like healthy dinner and everything. You say num num num, and then you get that pile of food. It can't be even said to be a meal. It's a pile of food. How do you prepare somebody to eat off a piece of bark? Like, am I just worrying too much? Am I thinking about this too much? Am I actually having an existential crisis over how things are served to me in a restaurant? I don't like this. You see, this is why I can't have nice things. This is why I can't go to restaurants, because it confuses me. Please excuse getting a little bit spicy there. Colander. Colanders shouldn't be in kitchens. It hurts my soul. I don't know if that's cocoa or rust on that trowel. I would hope it's cocoa, but I don't know what the rest of the stuff is on it. And I'm not that uncultured. But if you served this to me, I would be smiling and politely declining. I mean, I love how they've made a bunny ears out of the gloves, but even the gloves look a bit manky. I'm sorry. I like the idea that where the cigarettes used to go, the spoon handle goes. I like that. That's repurposing, because a lot of people are just not smoking anymore. So repurposing it, okay, awesome. I'm going to say awesome for repurposing on this one. Yep. Right. The caption on this one is, saw this on Instagram and it sent me into a fit of rage. Okay. It does actually look really pretty. Is it the candy corn? It looks like Halloween? Is it because it goes over the top of the glass? Is it because there's cake on top of the glass and not on the plate? Is it because they didn't have any of it? Do you know something? Although it's piled up, I think the artistry of this one's brilliant. The construct is brilliant. I'm going to say this one is actually the one I've liked the most out of all of them I've seen so far. Just to brighten it up. Seriously, again with the shoes. Is that a shoe made out of ice though? Now, if it's a shoe made out of ice, props all day. I will give that props all flipping day. But it's a shoe. The food looks nice. The food looks lovely, but it's a shoe. But at least they've made the shoe. I'm a great believer in using all of the animal if you're going to eat the animal, but perhaps not in this context. I think at least it's an indicator of what you're eating, I suppose. It was going so well with the shoe and with the dessert, and now I'm all befuddled again. Aha! See, it's not just me. This is my point exactly. They say the syrup kept spilling over. That's the caption. So it's not just me, and they're serving it on a flipping chopping board with that galvanised bucket of chips. I mean, honestly, the food, again, looks incredible, but you wouldn't be wasting all your syrup if you had a plate. You can see they've laminated their menus. I'm not flipping surprised with it spilling all over the place. And finally, I don't know how I feel about this, because obviously you're taught how to feed yourself generally when you're a toddler. I don't see the appeal of going to a restaurant and have somebody feed me. I think the server's doing enough by cutting that meat up and making it look amazing and cutting it perfectly to sort of like whatever, accent the meat. But feeding the guy, come on now. You don't, well, no. I'm so very grateful that you've listened this far and you've tolerated my whining and my whinging about the particular serving choices that these people have made. Call me bread and butter, but I just like to keep it simple, No frills, no drama, just simple. Thank you so much for indulging me so far, and if you're enjoying what you hear, please boop the subscriptions button, give it a little bit of attention to that notifications bell. I do audiobooks, I do reactions, we've also got some streaming that we're planning on doing, and love to hear your feedback and what you think, so please don't hesitate to leave a comment, any feedback, any suggestions. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. Any feedback is good feedback. Thanks for listening. Have an awesome day.